backpackers. Today we have another tent to review, a Robens Buzzard 2-person ultralight tent. According to producers' specifications, this one weighs just under 2 kilograms and goes into a pack size about this. Of course, it depends on how good of a pack job you do. If you try a little bit harder, this thing will be smaller, but not much. Right off the bat, what you can see is that the cover, the pack for the backpack is actually a dry bag. Standard one with the roll down and a clip. This is nice because even if you don't use the tent, as I did this summer, I used another one. You can still use this dry bag to keep your clothes or anything that you want quite dry. I think that the material of the dry bag is the same as the tent itself, so it's probably waterproof. As far as we've tested, it does not let any water through, so it's quite nice. So let's pitch the tent up and show you the outside and the inside. Obviously, what you're seeing here is the worst case scenario where the inner tent is detached from the outer fly sheet and we have no idea what we're doing. Normally, pitching the tent takes about 5 to 10 minutes. The Buzzard is made out of 3 types of materials. The outer fly sheet, the green one, is Hydrotex LT nylon, which is siliconized on the outside and PU coated on the inside. It is a 40 denier ripstop material which has a hydrostatic rating of 3000 millimeters. The inner tent, the yellow one, is a 30 denier ripstop polyester, breathable, but it does not have any hydrostatic head measurement. The ground sheet is obviously the most thick. It's a 75 denier polyester taffeta with 195 threads per inch. It has a hydrostatic rating of 10,000 millimeters. which is quite good. As you can see, the tent, when it's pitched, it lies quite low to the ground, so that makes it extra wind resistant. It's been actually rated by Robens to be able to withstand winds of up to 150 kilometers per hour. There's a swan we have in the background, very nice. But the overall appearance of the tent is quite disappointing, at least I find it disappointing, because I could not get it to pitch properly, to be nice and taut all the way across the outer fly sheet. Granted, we haven't used the side guy lines nor the ground ones, but to be honest, even if we did, it didn't make that much difference. There's always some slack. If you pull here, it will go loose on the other side. As far as the guy lines go, there is one major complaint, and that is the locking mechanism. If you can have a look at it, it seems okay, it seems nice. You can regulate the length of the guy line, and there's even a hook so that you could probably get it extra tight. But even if you do that, it will lose tension, and it will lose tension when you don't expect it. So what we did is we pitched the tent, we pulled the guy lines tight, and it was holding for a while, and then someone, I don't know, bumped into the tent or was taking something out of the vestibule, and suddenly the guy line just lost its tension, and it was like boom. It's not very big of a deal for the tent because it will normally stand and it will even be still properly pitched. However, it's very uncomfortable, and I actually complained about it to Robens. They offered to send us special locking mechanisms for these. We'll see if they work, but I haven't got them yet. One thing worth mentioning about the construction of the tent is that if you look in here closely, you will see that apart from the clipper here, that locking mechanism that holds the inner tent inside, there is another band that goes underneath the inner tent and goes all across the tent to the other side of the main structure pole. What it does is that even if you detach the inner tent completely and take it out, the outer fly sheet will still maintain structure. So you can actually be inside and take out the inner tent completely without losing the structure of the outer tent, and that is quite nice. I like that. On the side, you have one, on each side there is one fixed pole which holds the end erect and gives you extra space for your head. That does not work very well. There should be at least two of these, or this one should be higher, and more importantly, this should be removable. I could not remove it, and it seems to be fixed in place, as you probably can see, which is for me a crime. It just doesn't work. It's too low, and I don't want to carry that extra weight with me if I have a trekking pole. And one thing I will show you later on is that there is not that much headspace in here. So what I did actually was get my own trekking pole. This is at this point it's 58 centimeters tall, and just put it just like that over here. Now obviously you will have to adjust the whole structure of the tent, and it will have this place underneath here, so you have to be careful not to rip the inner tent. Also, this is obviously not recommended by the manufacturer because that's not designed to be done like that, but that helps a lot, and I would like to be able to do it with my trekking pole instead of carrying this thing with me, which I don't need and is completely useless. Let's fix the tent here. These locking mechanisms, if you have a look at this, they are retracted like that and pulled like that, and they also lose tension. So they are quite nice by design, as in they should work nice and they look nice, but they do lose tension after a while, so not very good. these ones as well. Another complaint, apart from the locking mechanism itself, which will lose tension on you, is that you cannot regulate where the guy line is attached to these bands. So if you pitch it up, however you pitch it, the pole will always be at an angle, as you can see right now even. And there is no way, there's nothing you can do about that, because it doesn't go into the ground, and you cannot regulate where where you attach the force for the guy line, from the guy line. So what you could do is have a workaround and just put the pole in here, and then just, you know, tie it around or something like that. But that's a workaround, that shouldn't be working like that. Going further, you have one vestibule. Quite nice. One good thing about this is that the zipper is protected by Velcro here and from rain, and there are 4 zippers open. This is actually one big zipper here, so you can open it in any configuration. You can even have like a bit of space here and then a bit of space here. You can regulate it however you like. So this is nice. 4 zippers is something good. The quality of it seems to be quite okay, but we haven't used it extensively, so I cannot tell how long it will actually last. It's quite easy to open, so no complaints in here. Obviously there are stowaway hooks for the doors if you want to do that. The size of the vestibule itself is fairly okay. This is a 40-liter backpack. We've stuffed here boots and 2 backpacks, one 80-liter, one 40-liter, as always. No problems with that. Getting in or out of the tent is quite easy. So let me show you inside.